Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 13 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beauty, but now chilly confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. I want to say thank you to anybody who may be listening or watching, wherever you may be, whether going to and from work or, traveling, vacationing, wherever you commute, wherever you may be working out. I just thank you for listening as always. And like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. And I'm going to get right into it, guys. We're going to hop into the NBA news and notes. A lot of jam-packed action over the past couple of days. I kind of was, real deep into the NFL draft recap and reviews. And I thank you guys. A ton of feedback and support from the fans. I love you guys for the comments and, the people that reached out. I thank you for everything. And yes, and I encourage you, like, if you got a football question or if you think, as a topic or something I touched on, you want my opinion on, like I've encouraged the others that have already done it, by all means, chime in. I don't mind the feedback, definitely if we're talking about sports, I love sports. That's the whole point of the show. It's blunt talk. We're being honest with each other. I'm being honest with y'all. So I encourage it and I thank you. Having said all that, we're going to go into the Heat Celtics game from 2 days ago now. This one was pretty simple. I'm not even going to waste too much time on this one. This was revenge for Boston. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure y'all remember, Miami knocked this team out, a year ago when they played the Nuggets, and in the finals, and it was crazy because we all kind of knew that Boston this year was going to be reloaded and ready and better. But that's how you put away a team. The execution that Boston had from start to finish to ensure that they won this game. That is what you want to entail and what you want to ensure that a team shows. Championship pedigree, for lack of better words. I thought it was exquisite what they did. They kept their foot on their throat and just didn't stop. Having said all that, Miami dealt with a shitload of injuries. I mean, Jimmy Butler getting injured, that was just enough right there in itself. But not to mention, within that game, you had Richardson injured, Terry Rozier's injured, Jaquez Jr. is injured. That's just too much offense and at least decent enough three-point shooting missing off the floor in a series of this magnitude against a team of this magnitude. The Celtics, like I said, they look like they're ready to run through the East again. I expect them to. That being said, they're going to play the winner of the Cavs and Magic. They're going to win that series. I don't think the Magic are going to get to the second round. I do think it's the Cavaliers that they're going to wind up playing. However, that being said, the Cavaliers, they don't have the offensive firepower for the Celtics. I mean, I just being honest, even when the Celtics have a bad shooting night, somehow, some way, they can usually pull it out. And against either one of those teams, it's not enough. So Celtics should definitely walk to the Eastern Conference Finals. But, like I say, shout out to Miami for the heart and fight and, and the Heat pride that they showed and just, consistently being the type of, team that just has that dog mentality that just, they won't stop. So, with that being said, though, they shot horribly from three. I mean, 10% from three. I mean, literally, they made three-point shots the whole night. That ain't getting it done. So, like I said, Miami tried, but it just wasn't enough. Just a couple of news and notes before I wrap this part of the segment up. Celtics had 5 guys in double figures. Hauser had 17 points coming off the bench. Celtics shot 40% from three, 56 rebounds for the game. They just out-rebound them. And guys, to keep in mind how physical that game was for as far as the rebounding performance, it just shows you how dominant Boston was in that game. Tatum had 12 defensive rebounds. So, Miami didn't stand a chance, especially if you got Tatum doing that. You have no chance. Derek White, 25 points, of course, when I shot him out. 5 from 10 from 3, so 5 made threes. Gotta love that. Jaylen Brown, 25 points as well. He only had 1 made 3 that game. However, he was 11 of 19 from the rest of the floor, so kudos to him on that one. So yeah, they're waiting for the end of this game. I mean, the series could be over tonight, between the Cavs and Magic. We don't know, but either way, the Celtics are waiting for their next, in my opinion, victim. That being said, we're going to go to the Mavs-Clippers game. This one, to me, in my opinion, was very hilarious. Mavs won this game by 30 points. It was complete utter destruction. I mean, just utter fucking blowout. No Kawhi, and it showed, It's bad enough that the Clippers are streaky at times with shooting. But when you shoot 25% from 3, when you have the names like Paul George and Harden and you got some of those other guys on there that can shoot a Terrence Mann. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I mean, that's pretty fucking bad. 18 team assists, a lot of ISO ball. Nobody's really passing the ball. That's bad. That being said, I think we got to start really looking at Luka Doncic's resume in the playoffs and really start putting some respect on this boy's name. Now, I know he hasn't won the championships. I know the furthest he's gotten to is the Western Conference Finals. And I know for a lot of people, that's just, barely scratching the surface. And it may be. It may be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's definitely done anything yet because he hasn't even won the Western Conference. That being said, I'm going to read off some numbers to you. You tell me what you think about his resume in the playoffs so far. 32. He averages 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists for the postseason. And that's in 33 playoff games. 34 being tonight. He'll be playing tonight, so expect probably another 30 burger. Luka is just proven, though, like, y'all have heard me on here mention before, I call him the European LeBron. It's starting to show how he's incorporating his teammates and how he's fighting for his guys. And, and granted, he had a little congestion, a little, respiratory virus, or, sinus, allergies, allergy code, I believe he said that's what it was. He had that going on. So I give him credit, he fought through that because I suffer with allergies. And I know when you can't breathe, it's hard to keep running around up and down the court, let alone putting 35 on, somebody's head. So kudos to him on that. But I don't want it to be missed. And I want it to make sure that I'm very clear on these next few points. I have told you guys before, and I will say it again. How about that James Harden? Did he disappear on you again? I told you. 2 games a series. That's all you're going to get. 2 games a series. This man, I want y'all to really think back at a season ago. Just rewind time. Really go back. The mental Rolodex rolls back a summer ago. Do y'all remember this man asking for the bag? Do y'all remember this man asking for a max contract from the Philadelphia 76ers? How does that look now when people said Daryl Morey was making a mistake and that the Sixers were going to have to rebuild? How does that look now? Because I can tell you, James Harden, 7 points, not enough. 2 points in the second half. I told you, he will disappear. Not a shock, not even I told you so. Just know for a fact, this is a team that people have picked to win the West. There is no way in hell you can win the Western Conference when you got a guy having performances like that, when you have interior defense that is getting destroyed the way it was, and when you have Luka Doncic raining threes on your head, and you have no answer for him defensively. So it's going to be very interesting because they play tonight, obviously, and I'm not sure if it's going to be closed out, just because of their veteran savvy and their coaching, but I wouldn't be shocked. So, be that as it may. Funny enough, though, there's one more person that's, I want to get to in this. Paul George, PG-13. Take your ass to the Magic. Do Steve Ballmer a favor. Do Kawhi. Do this fan base. You know what? Damn it. Fuck Kawhi. Take Kawhi out of it. Do your teammates overall and this fan base a favor. Take your ass to Orlando and go steal their money. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. From the time he left Indiana, right? He goes to Oklahoma City. He plays the fake loyalty card. And I'm not saying that he didn't really want to help Russ out. That's why he wanted to go there in the first place. When he realized he couldn't win with Russ, the moment he had an opportunity to have a pressure on him, could have went to the Lakers, could have went to the Clippers. He went to the Clippers. Already, right? Everybody like, yo, that's a dope move. Since the bubble, this man has shown you nothing. I mean, like, I think we're all kind of living off the hype of him before the horrific broken, leg injury that he suffered. I think we all kind of were enamored with what he was doing in Indiana and how his rise and how he played. His game is so damn inconsistent. He is literally an upgraded version of Tobias Harris. I've heard Sixers fans I've come into over the past couple of days tell me, oh, I'll take PG over Tobias Harris. Let me explain this to you. He is a minor upgrade over that. Tobias Harris, and I'll get on that subject in a second, stealing money, proven, and I think it's without a doubt, there should be APBs out for his ass right now. Right now. As a matter of fact, there should be a security team escorting his ass out of the tri-state area because he may have motherfuckers looking for him. Pardon my French. It's that real. It's that real. But anyway, Paul George, go to the Magic. The Clippers are regretting this trade every day. And what trade am I talking about, everybody? What trade am I talking about specifically? Here we go. Do y'all remember the trade that got Paul George to the Clippers? Some of y'all probably don't. I'll enlighten you. The pick that wound up turning into a human being, that human being being Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Clippers traded him and multiple picks and players to get Paul George. And in that return for SGA, the Thunder got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In return, the Clippers got Paul George, Danilo Gallinari, and multiple first-round picks. Ironically, the winner of this series plays the Thunder in the next round. How much do you want to bet that Steve Ballmer is regretting that trade? Boy, stealing money. Tobias Harris 2.0, 3.0. I don't know. They better make sure he got an escort. But anyway, Knicks versus Sixers is the next one. As I stated, I'm kind of sad to see this series, and this was a great series. I mean, this was a nod. I said it in the beginning when I first covered this series, this is a nod to the throwback. It was old school physical type basketball, big shots being made in this series. Tit for tat. I loved it. The Philly-New York rivalry, that added to it. So that was always a plus. But Jalen Brunson would definitely be when we look back, he'll be the MVP. Tyrese Maxey had the Sixers that came back and won would have been, but Jalen Brunson was the MVP of this series. 41 points, 12 assists in that game last night, 3 made threes, did his job. The guy, though, who was probably the unsung hero for the Knicks this whole series and definitely last night, a lot of people will point to Dante DiVincenzo, who I will admit, great game, 25 points, 5 from 9 from 3, played well. Josh Hart. What a way to make up for that erratic play 2 games ago. Josh Hart, you played a phenomenal game, 16 points, 7 assists, but I want to highlight the 14 rebounds. 14 rebounds, 3 of 5 from 3, so 3 made threes. That killer 3 that he hit, that was the fucking dagger. I mean, that they still had a chance, Philly did, but you knew when he hit that shot, it was like, damn. But credit to the Knicks, man. They played off that Josh Hart, like I said, in that order, Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, unsung heroes of this series. But definitely Josh Hart. I mean, that man, whew, the rebounds he had in this series, the way they played, I mean, damn. Like I said, I'm really sad to see it in. But I want to highlight on that play, though, where Hart made that 3. Kelly Oubre. Now, I know Kelly Oubre is not necessarily known as a defensive stalwart, and he's not Scottie Pippen on the defensive end, for lack of better words. But I want to try to give him credit because he did his damnedest to really play hard. But on this play in particular that I'm speaking of, where Josh Hart hit that killer 3 to pretty much like end the game, if he just stays with Josh Hart, if DiVincenzo even still runs to the wing, Maxey's with him. You can't run off your man or off to a guy who's not even. When you get a chance, rewatch the play. Oubre spins off, leaves Maxey in no man's land to choose between Hart and DiVincenzo, both who I just told you were them by themselves combined. Combined, they hit 8 threes. So you left one man on both the hottest shooters for them for the night. And I'm not sure if he was picking up Brunson. I believe it was Brunson that Oubre thought he was picking up. But either way, Oubre calls that play. You know, if he stays at home, who knows what happens? The extra pass gets made, tighter defensive switch. We don't know, but I give Maxey credit, but he should have stayed. He should have. Being in no man's land, he was fucked. I mean, he had to choose between DiVincenzo, he had to choose between Hart. You know, great play by the Knicks, bad defense by Oubre. Stay at home, kids. If you're definitely trying to understand how to play NBA defense, the key to it is at times stay at home. And in that moment, Oubre stays at home. Maybe the outcome's a little different. But I want to definitely give credit to Joel Embiid, a man who played on one leg for most of the series. 39 points in that game, 13 rebounds. He hit 2 threes last night. Embiid just doing what he do. I mean, I'm so proud that man showed up because let's be honest, y'all, he was playing 70% half of the series. And he just didn't quit, and I give it to him. Unsung hero for this game, not for the series, but for this game, unsung hero for the series is Tyrese Maxey. But for this game, it'd be Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield has been catching wild hell in this area because everybody know he ain't played well since the trade. You know, things really haven't been working out for him. You know, Nick Nurse seemed like he was kind of adverse to putting him on the court, you know, be that as it may. But nonetheless, 20 big points last night for the, you know, he gave the Sixers. He hit 6 threes last night, which the Sixers needed every last one of them. Could have used that 7th one late in the game. But nonetheless, he hit the 6 big threes, and that was coming off the bench. So shout out to Buddy Hield on that one. You know, he definitely played well. Don't think he'll be back as a Sixer, but it was a good way to try to fight and help the team stay alive. Tyrese Maxey, though, man. If you're the Sixers, you got to have a lot of hope. He didn't have the explosive 30-point or potential 40-point game that he had, you know, a couple times early in the series, but 17 points, 5 assists. Took too many threes, in my opinion, last night. 1 of 6 from 3. But, you know, he should have went a little bit more inside because I think that's where he could have got a little bit more foul calls and, you know, definitely some contact and, you know, draw more attention to that. The referees, I think they would give him the whistle a little bit more last night. But having said that, though, the future's bright with him and the Sixers and Embiid. Like I said, that kid I said it, you know, when I was starting to cover this whole series, I said it to you. You know, he's starting to build a legacy for himself. He's starting to make a name for himself. And great way to start it. Didn't end the way he wanted it to, or the Sixers necessarily wanted it to, but, you know, they got hope going into next year. And I'll lead a little bit more into that later on my thoughts about the Sixers' future plans may be or should be, in my opinion. Further on, though, for the notes I have from the game, Nick Nurse, you know, a lot of good coaching decisions throughout the year. One of the worst decisions in this game was late in the game to continue with doubling of Brunson. He's already killing you. What are you, like, you're trying to double him when he's got 2 other guys hitting shots. It doesn't make any sense. Just try to trust your guys to play defense. It's the playoffs. It's do or die. Trying to micromanage a situation that's already too late. It's like trying to microwave burnt food. What the fuck we doing? I don't know. But anyway. Tobias Harris, you know, I touched on this a little bit earlier. I need y'all to know, I don't have no personal qualms with this man. I don't know this man personally. I just watch basketball and I appreciate good basketball. As I told you, I'm not even a Sixers fan. So be that as it may, Tobias Harris should have a police escort out of the city of Philadelphia or the tri-state area, because since he's been acquired, it has been the biggest waste of money I think the Sixers could have had. Think about all the guys that could have been in that role, and yet this guy was siphoning. I mean, it damn near felt like embezzlement, y'all. It damn near felt like embezzlement. I mean, just last night, he on the court for 30 some odd minutes. He gave you 0 points and two shot attempts. I mean, like, really, y'all, like, that's a thief. You're not even trying. So, yeah. And Paul Reed, your ass ain't low either. Don't ever speak on shit like this ever again. Like, just try to focus on your game, get better playing ball, stop talking about who you think y'all ready for or who you ready for, because you weren't ready for nothing. I checked your stat line the whole series. Nothing, bro. Nothing. You were a body in a jersey the whole series. and you made yourself a headline. But no need to worry, Sixers fans, for y'all, because neither one of them are going to be on the damn team next year. I can promise you that. Paul Reed and Tobias Harris, out of there. Both sides of the door. Another one who's definitely out of there, and I'm going to lay off him as much because, let's be real, he was a vet at this point. He was just a body, but he was serviceable at spots. Kyle Lowry, 13 minutes, he gave you 0 points on 2 shot attempts. That ain't getting it done. So, I know it was nice for him to come back to Philly. I know it was a heartwarming story for the fans, but he out of there too. So, got hope for the future Sixers, but you make sure Tobias Harris is out of there. Make sure Paul Reed's out of there. Improve that bench a little bit. Make sure you get you a third wing player, and y'all gonna be all right. Because that ain't. Damn. I mean, that's all I can say. They ain't getting it done. They ain't getting it done. Last but not least, we're going to cover the Pacers versus Bucks. This was probably the most disappointing series, in my opinion, because, all honesty, y'all, I got a couple people out there I know as Pacers fans. I don't know no Bucks fans. I thought the Bucks were going to be a little bit reinvigorated going into this series, and it was disappointing in the aspect of it ended a lot quicker than I thought it would. But shout out to the Pacers, man. They did their fucking thing. No Giannis. You got to capitalize on that. If there's no Giannis, I don't give a damn. The Bucks shouldn't win in a playoff series, in my opinion, if there's no Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Pacers had energy from start to finish, and they showed it. They played like a team that wanted to close the series out. The Bucks started playing iso ball. It started off Brook Lopez and Dame. They getting hot, they hitting shots, Dame hitting deep threes, Lopez body work, mid-range. And then it just turned into, oh shit, the Pacers are on the run. What are we going to do? This frantic basketball, and then there's just iso ball. It just didn't look good. It didn't look like Milwaukee Bucks basketball. It looked like Doc Rivers' end of tenure at the Sixers basketball, which I'll get on that too in a second. Pacers had 4 starters in double figures. Shout out to Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell. Obi Toppin, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 made threes. TJ McConnell, 20 points, 9 assists, 2 from 3. So, both these guys came off the bench. So that was crucial for Indiana. Indiana had contributions all around the board. They got exactly what they needed to end that series. Again, huge win. And I don't know if a lot of y'all know, that's their first playoff series win since 2014. So it's been 10 years. Kudos to the Pacers, well deserved. As far as the Bucks are concerned, I'm going to highlight some things real quick, and I'm going to get to my point. Dame Lillard, 28 points, 4 made threes. I expected that. Brook Lopez, as I told you, 20 points, because early on it was the Dame and Brook show. The 3-point shooting. I don't understand. The Bucks and the Celtics drive me fucking insane when I watch their basketball games and I see them having a bad shooting night, and then they go jack up 30 or 40 or 50 threes. Why are you still shooting all these threes? I mean, you still have to try them, yes. But if you're not hitting them, stop. What happens? You play bad, shoddy defense. You got a bunch of old guys out there trying to stay with these young boys. I said it to you earlier in the series. If the Pacers keep up the tempo, if their coach was smart, there was something early in the series that was shown. The tempo and pace was getting to the Bucks. And that's all they did from start to finish. And I mean, my God, 7 made threes, 7 as a team. Hell, Dame gave you 4. It's not enough. That bench was horrible. It's not enough. And I'd be remiss if I forgot this guy. I'd be remiss. Patrick Beverley. I know y'all probably want me to talk about the incident at, towards the end of the game with the fan and him throwing the ball, hitting the lady in the head. And, I hope the lady's okay. She was all right. It looked like she did the wow, kind of laughed a little bit, but hit, still serious, getting hit in the head with a basketball when you blindsided, could have knocked out, who knows. But when you throw the ball again the second time, right, and you try to hit somebody in the face, right, I can easily get on that too. And we all know, if any of y'all that's dog mentality, Pat Bev's a dog, Pat Bev's ass is going to be suspended for probably 15 to 20 games at the beginning of next year. So any team that signs him, good luck that he's not going to be there. And your defense probably won't get that much better, because I can tell you now, the Bucks defense damn sure wasn't better last night. So, Shout out to Russell Westbrook, who always said, that man fooling y'all. He's just out there running around making noise, because that's all he did last night. He had more energy for them fans in the stands than he had on the court. What do I mean, y'all? What do I mean? 40 minutes, he gave you 6 points, 3 of 11 from the court. I am so tired of people gassing up his bum ass. He is not good. He is not good. He may have played well at one point defensively on the Rockets. He may play well in some spots. I mean, this is the same man who treated a Memphis Timberwolves playoff berth as Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Come on, y'all. We can't take this seriously. You had more energy for a fan than you did the Indiana Pacers. I rest my case. That bench got to improve for Milwaukee if they're going to have a shot next year. Giannis and Dame being together another year is going to be great, but that bench definitely got to improve. And I'll wrap up, y'all, on this. A random thought, something that crossed my mind I wanted to talk about that I think a lot of people aren't really realizing. This pertains to the Philadelphia 76ers. I think you should go after LeBron James this offseason. And, that's a basic duh, right? But it's like, he's 39, he older, LeBron. Think about this, y'all. Article I found from 2018, CSNPhilly.com. The columnist was Noah Levick. I want to make sure I get him his credit. In the article, the article discussed about how LeBron, and it's LeBron's quotes, not my quotes, not my opinion and conjecture, LeBron's quotes, about how he seriously considered the Sixers in 2018. Quote reads as follows. I definitely thought long and hard about the possibilities of lining up aside Ben and Joel Embiid, or lining up aside James or Chris Paul. I felt like at this point in my career, the ultimate for me, just like when I went to Miami, everyone kind of looks at me joining a super team. Didn't really want to do that. I think Miami was 47-35 the year I joined. You look at the Lakers record. So I like the challenge of being able to help a team to get some places that they haven't been in a while. And obviously the Lakers haven't made the playoffs in a few years, but the Lakers organization, a historical franchise, matches up there in all the greats. And he digressed. He was talking about the Cowboys and the Patriots and, the Boston Celtics and, winning for a franchise and what that means. I'm basically saying all this to say, reopen that door, Daryl Morey. If you really want to contend for a championship, you really want to contend. Now, I'm not saying, y'all, that getting LeBron automatically puts them over the Boston Celtics. They're going to need a bench. LeBron's defense is not the same. They're going to need help there too. But what I'm saying to you is, if he at this age is still producing and playing the way he is, think about it, y'all. He's never had the big man. He's never had, he's had Dwayne Wade. He didn't have a young Dwayne Wade. He's got a Tyrese Maxey. I'm not saying Wade's Maxey, but the games are very, very, very close. You got to give this a shot if you're Philadelphia. Because let's be real. If you have your choice between LeBron and PG-13, I think it's unanimous you're taking LeBron. But who knows? If LeBron stays with the Lakers, I think you might have to by default take PG, but I think that's a shitty idea. I wouldn't do it if I'm the Sixers. You try to look elsewhere via trade. But like I said, I just ultimately think that, you got to do that. That's just my random thought. And last but not least, definitely check out the Friday games tonight, y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all are already in tune, but just so you know, Cavs versus Magic. Cavs are up 3-2 in that series. And also late tonight will be Clippers versus Mavs, and the Mavs are up 3-2. So potential closeout games tonight. However, I only think one of these games are getting closed out. I think that would be Cavs and Magic. I think that series ends tonight. With that being said, as always, thank you so much, guys, for continuing to watch. And like I said, the love and support has been strong. Every day, I'm getting a comment or a view or a like, or it's just some reference to the show. And I'm thankful for all the love and support. And ultimately, this is going to keep coming. I'm going to keep delivering the content. I'm going to keep bringing y'all the real, bringing y'all the facts. And as always, this is Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. So all we have is blunt, honest talk here. So continue to enjoy your day. Episode 14 will be arriving soon. You guys will see that shortly in the upload. And I just want to thank you again. And God bless. Take care.